What's going on, everybody? It's Tuesday, the 10th of December, 2024. It's 11:30 a.m. here in Germany. This is going to be the Q&A, Ask Me Anything episode of the week. And normally I would put this out on Saturday, but because it's relevant to right now, I'm going to put it out tonight. So, today. The question is what I basically think about the CEO shooting in Manhattan. So everybody knows, I think, unless you've been living under a rock, or, the people in other countries that watch my content, like here in Germany, you might not know anything about it because I haven't really seen it on the news here at all. But what happened is a CEO of, I think the company's called United Health. It's an insurance company, a health insurance company that is responsible for, very, very, very many claim denials. They deny the most claims out of all insurance companies in the States, as far as I understand it. So their percentage of denial of claims is very high. Regardless, this guy was walking to a conference from his hotel room in Manhattan last week, and a dude that was pretty well disguised walked up behind him, shot him, I guess 6 times is what they're reporting, and killed him. Then the dude fucking walked across the street and got on a bicycle and rode off into the sunset. And they are still not, they have some people that they arrested, but those don't really sound like plausible suspects. I'll get into why I think that here in a little bit. But the main question is, do I agree that this was a good thing that this man got murdered because of his affiliation or his title within an insurance company? Because, what I really don't like is this right wing, this conservatives, hypocrisy bullshit, this moralizing from the conservative side, because a leftist or some leftists on the internet have expressed their pleasure at this guy getting killed. Namely, the most prominent one is Taylor Lorenz, which was a Wall Street Journal a journalist, or New York Times journalist. Anyway, she's a woke lefty. I don't know much about her. All I know is the things that people that I watch say about her. Everybody hates her because she's a woke lefty. I don't know her. You know what I mean? I haven't watched many things that she's been on. I haven't read any of her articles. I don't know what her viewpoints are on certain things. I know she's woke. I know she's a lefty. That doesn't necessarily disqualify her from being a decent person. It kind of depends what she pushes for, right? So I don't know her much, and I can't make a judgment on her as a person because, again, I haven't seen her talk very many times. I haven't read any of her articles. I don't know anything about her other than what is told to me from other people. But she came out and expressed on Twitter, I guess, or on X, she expressed her joy in the fact that this guy got killed. And the whole conservative Republican right came out where they were, everybody's all up in arms about it. Tim Pool, everybody's all, oh my God, moral outrage, oh my God. Listen, it just depends, right, from where you take a look at this, from which standpoint you take a look at something, right? And in order to make a judgment call on what might be morally correct, you have to be able to put yourself in the position of the person that you are morally questioning, right? So, do I think flat out that this person should have been murdered? No, I don't think so, right? The guy has a family. He's also a father. He also had a life, and, he doesn't deserve to necessarily be killed over the fact that he is the CEO of a health insurance company. But, right, and there is a caveat to this, and not to the fact that he got killed, but we have to remember here, okay? These insurance companies in the States, and pretty much everywhere around the world, insurance companies are there to make money, right? And as a side benefit, sometimes you as a customer of an insurance company get your claims paid or taken care of. Not all the time, right? Which is insane. To me, if you pay monthly insurance to anything, whether it's health insurance or fucking car insurance or whatever, then when you do have a claim, there should be no question that you get it paid out. You shouldn't be paying hundreds of dollars or hundreds of euros into some sort of system and then still have to wonder if your claim will get taken or not, or if they're going to deny it based on some sort of dumb technicality because that's built into their model, right? That shouldn't be a fucking thing, okay? And so when that happens in the context of health insurance, these companies are responsible for denying life-saving medical attention based on cost-benefit analysis, right? They want to make as much money as they can. In order for them to do that, they have to pay out as little claims as they possibly can. It's a pretty dirty game, right? And it could be played better, right? I mean, it could be. We could say, look, health insurance companies get paid if their profits are millions and billions and so they can pay their CEOs millions of dollars a year, so they can accept way more claims than they do, right? People should not be left to die because they can't afford a certain medical treatment if that medical treatment is available. Now, the other side will say, yeah, but if we accept every claim, then we won't make any money. I doubt it, right? I doubt it. I don't know for sure because I can't look at the numbers, but the fact that they can sit there, if they can pay a CEO millions of dollars a year and they make, millions, if not billions of dollars of profit a year, I don't know what United Health's profit was, then they can pay out the majority of the claims or take the majority of the claims. The system does need major reform, especially when it comes to healthcare in the United States and the amount of money it costs. Now, does that mean you deserve to get killed if you're in that market? No, it doesn't mean that you deserve to get killed. What it means is that if you are a CEO of one of these companies, and you can't tell me that they don't know that major claims are being denied and people are dying because of it, right? They know, because that's how they make their money. Everybody knows. If we know, they fucking know. Don't give me that shit. So if you choose to make your living as the CEO of one major healthcare organization or health insurance organization, and you know that your profits are based on the amount of people you can deny vital healthcare to, then you are basically, in my mind, making a deal with the devil. You are somehow morally corrupt, right? You are. You just are. If you think it's okay that you go home with millions of dollars, and if your family gets sick or if you get sick, that your insurance company will bend over backwards to give you whatever you need while you deny regular people who pay into your fucking system the claims to get the health care they need for survival or a better life, then you are morally corrupted. And you should be aware that there may very well come a moment that you deny the wrong person's claim. And what I mean by the wrong person is, if my dog needed a life-saving operation, okay, and I didn't have $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on hand right away to pay for it, and the vet did not agree to do some sort of payment plan with me and let my fucking dog die because of money, then I might not kill the guy, you know what I mean? But I would definitely take the risk-benefit analysis that beating him within an inch of his life and doing a little bit of jail time for it would be worth it, okay? And that's my dog, right? And the reason why my dog is so important to me is because my dog happens next to be, aside from my wife, and probably my parents, to be the most loyal being in my existence. Dogs are better people than people. The dog would do anything for me, and so I will do anything for the dog. That's the deal, right? I look at the dog as if it were my child. Now, if it was my child or my wife that had some sort of operation need that could save her life and was available, and it was denied to her. And basically my insurance company says, hey dude, fuck you, sorry about your wife, sorry about your kid, but the CEO does need his bonus this year, and this shit's going to cost us too much money. So you're just going to die, or you're going to have to let them die. You'll have to deal with it. And after they're dead, you're going to have to continue to pay us for insurance for yourself, and hope that we're on a good mood the day that something happens to you. To me personally, that would be unacceptable. I can, in that situation, completely put myself in this dude's shoes who shot the guy, if that's the reason he shot him. We'll get into that in a second. So I guess it depends from what standpoint you look at this. But if you're honest, right? If you're honest and you have any loyal bone in your body to anybody in your family, and you have any empathy or sympathy for those people that you love, what would you do if you were in the situation that your kid, your loved ones, your wife, whatever, whoever, had to just die because your insurance company denied the claim, even though whatever treatment that was necessary was also available and possible? Why the fuck would you just sit there and go, well, that's the system, so okay, bye honey, bye little Timmy, bye little Angie, whatever? That would be your attitude? I fucking doubt it. I doubt it. So all you conservatives that are out there crying about Taylor Lorenz's tweet, and oh my God, it's so morally disgusting that you people are cheering on the death of this poor guy. Listen, people, listen. If you join the mob, right, or a gang, and that gang, is into violence and killing people and drug dealing and whatever, or the mob or whatever, you know what you are getting into. So yes, the profits are huge. The risk is also huge, right? Because there's no way out. You got the cops after you, et cetera, et cetera. And you're going to have to do things you may not want to do, but that's what you signed up for. When mob people or mafia people kill each other, gang members kill each other, nobody sheds a fucking tear about it. Nobody's crying online about the moral outrage. Shut the fuck up with that shit. You know what I mean? Really. Please. Okay? Nobody gives a fuck, right? And to expect from everybody in America or everybody in the world to shed a giant tear for this dude, even though I do feel sorry for him, I do feel sorry for his family, especially. I don't think this was the way to handle it. But again, if it would me in that situation, I very well may handle it the same fucking way. And a lot of people out there that are wagging their moral fucking fingers at everybody would also want to deal with it in that way. They may not have the balls to actually do it, but just think about how you would feel if you were in the situation that possibly the dude who shot the CEO was. Now, we don't know if that's the case, again, right? If you were in that situation, you would want everybody that works for that insurance company to be dead. And if something happened to that person, weeks after your claim got denied and they got run over by a bus, you would be like, thank God, fuck that guy. That's awesome. You would be celebrating. You just get the conservatives just can't stand it that the left are the people that are so-called celebrating this, right? Now, I don't know if celebration is the right word. Again, Taylor Lorenz, I watched her on Piers Morgan. She seems actually quite reasonable in that conversation. She tried to defend her stance. Nobody would let her because she's of course the mortal enemy here, because she said, I experienced joy because of this. Look, she tried to backpedal it. She's trying to say, look, it's not that I feel joy about it. What I feel joy about is that finally there's going to be attention on this system. Okay, I can agree with that. I can let her slip on the fucking joy thing. And that is, she's right? She's right. Many people in America do feel the same way she does. And also many finger-wagging conservatives that are so morally outraged at her statements also would feel that way if they were in that position. You see, and that's the problem with the whole, with so many people. People cannot put themselves into other people's shoes. And so their empathy is virtue signaling. They say they have empathy or sympathy, but they really don't, because they can't put themselves in somebody else's situation. Now, that's the only way you can come to a reasonable conclusion about something, is that if you can put yourself in the other people's shoes and judge them as if you were in their shoes, then you can judge people, right? So Taylor Lorenz, in this case, is correct, right? A lot of people are secretly celebrating this, whether they come out and say so like she did or not, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean it isn't happening. And I also trust none of these conservative finger waggers out there that they are also not secretly saying, you know what, actually, this fucker ruined a lot of people's lives, or basically is responsible for the deaths of a lot of people, right? And you can make the claim, well, he's not single-handedly, he's part of a system. He can't just accept all the claim. Bullshit. That is as easy as bullshit. He's part of the system, but he chose to be part of that system. Just like you choose to be part of a gang or part of the mob. If you are a person in this position, then you should know, and he had security, so he did, right? You should know that you are taking a risk, because at some point you are going to deny somebody's claim that is willing to kill you over it. You should know that, right? So you should protect yourself accordingly, which this guy did. It's just that on this day he happened to be with no security. That's what the reports say. If I was him, I would have 24/7 security, right? Why do politicians in America have this 24/7 security? Why? Why? Because a lot of people hate them, right? A lot of people hate them, and given the chance and the right opportunity, they would take off their head, right? And all of these conservative finger waggers, when it comes to the right person, right? Then they're like, all right, off with their fucking head. Then all this moral outrage shit is not there, right? Then they're like, but he's somebody I want to kill. So then it's all right, right? I hate it. It's a fucking double standard, hypocritical shit that also is there on the right. Now, yes, the left are the masters at it, but the right does it too, like they're doing right now in this situation. They are being as hypocritical as possible. I am quite sure that most of them would have a secret list in their head of a couple of people at least on the planet that they would rather just see gone, for their personal pleasure. Absolutely, that's how people are. Don't deny it. Don't be a bitch about it, and stop this moral finger wagging bullshit. So, that being said, do I agree that it's something to celebrate? No. But I think that what it has done, because there's now other health insurance companies are taking the pictures of their CEOs and shit off their websites to make sure that they're not targeted. So this has put the fear into these companies, which might make some of them change their tune and go a little bit more along moral lines, might offer their customers a better deal than the other insurance companies, might say, hey, we will not deny claims at our insurance company. Might say, put better guidelines in place to make sure that they basically accept most of the claims, if at all possible. It should be possible to accept many more. Maybe they should take a different stance, take a bit less profit, pay their CEOs a bit less millions, and then if that happened and they start doing that, that would be great. And then, unfortunately, this was a good thing, because this is what it took to start making the change. In America, the fight about the healthcare system has been long ongoing. Since I was a little kid, they've been fighting about it. It is far from optimal. It is very expensive. And unless you're rich, you don't get the treatment that you need for many things. It's not a great system at all. At all. It should have been reformed a long time ago. And there has been cries from the public to make it happen, and for the government and the people to do something to change it so that it's more affordable, for it to be better for everybody, and not just for the CEOs of these companies to make billion-dollar profits. Nobody got listened to. Everybody basically got ignored. And the things that they did do to try to change it, Obamacare or whatever, basically flopped, right? So I guess then, if any change comes from this, I guess this was then necessary, because it's what it took. Because if it didn't happen, still people wouldn't be listening, still people would be getting their claims denied, still people would be saying, fuck you, we don't care how much money you've paid into the system, you're not getting this shit, your kid's not getting this shit, your wife's not getting this shit, and eat my butt. That's what they've been saying. That would have continued if this guy wouldn't have gotten murdered. So if this brings about some sort of positive change that the government has been too dumb, too slow, and too impotent to fucking do anything about because of the pharma lobby, then then it's all good. Then I do celebrate it, okay? Then I do celebrate it. If nothing happens from it, then it was a waste, right? It was a waste. But not for the guy who did it, right? For the guy who did it, he got exactly what he wanted, obviously. Now, this guy came in, if you've watched this video, this guy came in and basically shot this dude like an assassin, right? He didn't seem nervous. He didn't yell at the guy. He didn't say anything. And apparently, according to media reports, he even had something inscribed on the bullets that said defend, deny, depose, or deny, depose, defend, depose, something like that. And that seems to be, and it's not being disputed, that seems to be like the mantra of these insurance companies. So first they deny the claim, then they defend why they denied it. And if it comes to depositions and court cases, then they go that route, because in the end, even if they lose a lawsuit, they still made more profit on denying whatever claims and being able to run the way they do than they would lose in a lawsuit that they lost, right? Which normally they don't. They usually win the lawsuits as well. So their whole mantra is deny, defend, depose. And that's basically how it goes. So if this was really inscribed on a bullet, right? Then it would basically, people assume that that's then the reason why he got killed, right? They say, well, if that's on the bullet, then he was killed because of retribution for some denial of claim or something like that, which isn't necessarily true. Like I said, if you look at this video, it looks like a professional hit job, right? The person had, I don't know. This did not seem to be his first rodeo. He got away very cool and collected. I don't think they'll actually really find this guy. Of course, the pressure is on to find somebody, but I don't really think that they're going to find him. You know what I'm saying? The people that they have in custody now, they found somebody that had the fucking gun on him, and fucking fake IDs and all kinds of, that's too perfect. You know what I'm saying? This dude looked like an assassin that would not still be hanging around Central Park after this murder. This motherfucker is gone, right? He's gone. I don't think they're going to find him. I would be very surprised if this cool and calculated dude that basically murdered this dude in broad daylight with a bunch of other people around on camera with no twitch, no nothing. He didn't even run. You know what I'm saying? He basically just strolled off to his fucking bike and pedaled off somewhere. I don't think that this guy would make the mistake of carrying around this gun forever. It's been a week, you know what I mean? He had plenty of time to dump that gun in the Hudson River and fuck right off out of New York. I can't believe that he would be so stupid to keep the backpack, keep all his shit, keep the gun, keep the coat that he was wearing, any of that shit. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. So I don't think that they're actually going to find this guy. At best, they will pin it on somebody so that they look good as police saying, we found him. You know what I mean? That they need to find him because a high-profile guy, you know what I'm saying? So they need to put pressure on. But the likelihood that somebody was able to pull this off is going to be found anytime soon is pretty much none, right? I'm sorry. There won't be any DNA on him. There won't be any evidence that he didn't touch the guy. Nothing. Nobody saw him. Nobody can point him out. I don't think that's happening. Now, is it for sure that the guy was killed because of some sort of insurance thing? No, it is not. We are assuming that, and the left is assuming that. Now, that's the problem with Taylor Lorenz's analogy. She is assuming that it's okay that this guy is dead because, he's an asshole that denied somebody's claim, and so that's why he was killed. I don't know if that's true, right? Because the guy was also being investigated, like heavily investigated, for a big insider trading scheme, right? Now, he's not in it by himself. Him being investigated means that other people are looking to get, there's possibility that he rats out other people that are also high profile, very, very rich. And those people don't want to go to jail because this guy's big blabbermouth if he gets caught, right? So there's a lot of reasons for them to kill this guy. And the way the hit was done, it almost seems like it's even more plausible that is what happened. That a hired assassin killed this dude to shut him up before he gets to be questioned by the police or the FBI or whoever's going to do it about this insider trading racket. And the reason why I say that is, again, the killing looked like a professional hit job, right? The guy didn't twitch. He didn't fucking flinch. He didn't yell at the guy, nothing. And this writing, this having the bullet inscribed is just the thing that a professional hit guy would probably do to throw them off his scent, right? Make it look like it's an angry, dissuaded fucking customer of your insurance company. Make it look like it's them by inscribing this on the bullet. And I also don't think that somebody who is emotional, who is murdering this guy because he's angry that the claim was denied for him or his family, right? I don't think that they would have the state of mind to inscribe a bullet. You know what I mean? It's like right out of a fucking movie, people, right? I don't think they would go through that. I think they would probably just run up and kill the guy the first chance they got. And there's a reason why this kind of shit does not happen more often. And that's because these people are very well protected. It's very hard to get a hold of their schedule. It's hard to people don't have time to, when they're working regular jobs, to scope this dude for days or weeks on end to find a vulnerable moment to be able to kill him. That's why it doesn't happen a lot. If these guys were just free running around, their schedules were open, everybody knew who they were, no protection, they would be killed all over the place. You know what I mean? So the reason it doesn't happen often is because normal people don't get the chance to actually kill these people. They're constantly guarded, they live in gated communities, their schedules are not public, etc., etc. This dude knew where he was going to be, when he was going to be there, had the time to scope him out, did it really calmly and collectively, had an escape plan, walked through his shit real easily, and had the shit inscribed on the bullet. I mean, that seems to me like a professional hit of the kind that people who have real money can actually get order on somebody else. And I think that he was probably killed so he couldn't open his mouth about this insider trading shit. That's what it looks like to me. Now, does that matter in the end? No, it doesn't really matter in the end, because in the end, what I hope comes of this, right, is not a bunch of conservative moral finger wagging. I hope that the government and the health insurance companies start thinking about what they are doing to the average customer, the average American, the average person who relies on their healthcare provider for critical or much necessary medical assistance, and then doesn't get it because these people want to make more money, because that's what it comes down to, and nobody can convince me otherwise. That's what I hope happens, and if it does, and something changes because of it, then thank God this happened, right? Then it's a good thing. Because it wouldn't have happened otherwise, as we have seen. Because like I said, I'm 47, and they've been fucking with this healthcare issue in America since I was a kid, right? Since I was a kid, and they still can't solve it. So apparently, the only way to solve the problem is violence. Because talking, discussing, imploring, pleading, whatever, all that shit doesn't do anything. It doesn't move the needle. So I guess violence is the only option. So I hope that it works out then. I hope that these companies change their tune. I hope the government gets involved if the companies don't change their tune. And I hope that they make the system of healthcare in America better, more fair and reasonable for everybody, and cheaper for everybody that needs it. That's what I think. That's my position. And so I think that's also Taylor Lorenz's position. But my position, do I agree with the conservatives at this? Not at all. Not at all. Stop it. Stop it. Okay? Stop. You can't sit there with a straight face and tell everybody there's no one on this planet that you wouldn't want to see dead. Okay? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. None of you are that good. I'm sorry. So that's it. That's the Q&A. Comment below. Do what you like. Anyway, if you want to get this content, my other content, my articles, subscribe to my Substack. Do it below. Do it for free, or do it for $5 a month. Catch you guys later on the next one.